What? That's a bit of a rough start. Welcome back to the Let's Play Go-Go Japan, the first trip to Japan version 2015. Although I always type this 2015 edition, but whatever, doesn't matter. So, this will be the final part. I'd actually went through the game, well, novel or whatever, and I made it through the prologue and like when he goes to sleep on the first night. And the reason why I only got that far was because the whole time I was trying to read it all in Japanese out loud, kind of test my pronunciation. And at that point I was like, oh, screw it. So didn't unlock any new CG or anything like that, but we're gonna do a bit more extra things for this. Because otherwise they'd just be like the Sightseeing album and CG gallery. We're gonna do a scene replay at the end of all this, but let's have a look at the Sightseeing album. Kabuki-za, access from Tokyo Station. Seen as a representation of Japanese culture, the first kabuki theater opened its doors in 1889 during the Meiji era and has been rebuilt 4 times due to fire damage and war. In April 2013, it took 3 years to remodel and reopen as the new and improved kabuki-za. The modern kabuki-za is a complex structure that combines both a theater with a skyscraper office building. This building features an underground shopping mall, a rooftop garden, and a kabuki-za theater. You can enter these areas without a ticket for the kabuki showing, so you can enjoy the atmosphere and history of kabuki at your ease. So this is obviously one that was added on with the new version, because I can't remember what year the original one was released, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't 2013, so this is kind of new. Yeah, it's on that one. Shibuya! What's it? Wait, it's only got the 1 page, actually. This one's got multiple pages. Scramble Crossing! The moment the light turns green, the myriad of people waiting on all sides of the crossing begin to walk all at once. It's used on TV a lot as an iconic image of Tokyo and all of Japan, but most emblematic scramble crossing is here at Shibuya Station. The first time I tried to cross it, it was like getting caught up in a giant wave of people crashing at you from all directions. I just barely made it across before the light turned red, and I was exhausted by the time it was over. Sounds like hell to me. Shibuya is one of the 3 great entertainment districts of Tokyo, besides Shinjuku and Ikebukuro, packed with movie theaters, playhouses, concert clubs, restaurants, and cafes. It caters specifically to young people, and you'll see plenty of street performers there. Oh wait, let's scroll down. There too. Well, it's true that Shibuya is a young person's town. There are plenty of places for the older crowd to enjoy too. Oh, and Shibuya is known even more for its fashion. Hachiko statue. When you leave Shibuya Station, you'll immediately notice a statue of a dog. There are usually people gathered around it. The dog's name is Hachi and belonged to a professor at Tokyo Imperial University. Named Tokyo University. Named I think that's how it's pronounced, right? I only know this because a while back I was playing Karano Shoujo 2, and well, it takes part in the general area, and it's got like station as a location you go to, so I kind of think I know the pronunciation for that. I'm not sure because it's a name here, but whatever. It's a borough who lived about 90 years ago. Dog accompanied his master to Shibuya Station every morning when he left for work and came to meet him in front of the station every evening when he came home. When his master died unexpectedly, they say that Hachi continued to come to the station every day to wait for his master's return. The story of Hachi's loyalty was published in a newspaper and garnered interest from a large number of people. A statue of him was erected, and after his death, his story was even included in elementary school morality textbooks. It was even recently made into a Hollywood movie. By the way, if you leave the station on the opposite side, you'll see a strange sculpture called the Statue of Moai. Resembling a long-haired Moai statue, it's designed to relax you as you look at it. makes an interesting contrast to Hachiko's noble standards. Meiji Shrine. Most popular shrine ritual of the Bushido religion in Japan. The Japanese have a tradition called Hatsumo-de, in which they visit shrines on the first day of the new year. Meiji Shrine attracts over 5 million visitors on this day. Shinto is a religion with its basis in Japanese folk beliefs. Under its teachings, many people are revered as gods after they die. The Meiji Shrine exists to honor the Meiji Emperor, the first modern ruler of Japan. 1852 to 1912, the Emperor of Japan is both its ruler and the highest resultant figure on the Shinto religion. Though passed away in 1912, it was burned down in the fire bombings during the war, but was reconstructed in 1958 under the labors of 110,000 volunteers. A beautiful example of Shinto architecture, the peaceful forests live in perfect harmony with the wooden buildings. It feels like a place rich with meaning. The most surprising aspect was how it was only one stop away from the chaos of Shibuya. The modern surrounding structures create an interesting contrast with the traditional feel of the Japanese buildings of the Meiji Shrine. Meiji Shrine is surrounded by a deep forest which sucks you into its quiet and peaceful atmosphere on your way to the shrine. There's also a garden known as the Jingu-gyon that has existed since the Edo period, from 1603 to 1868, when the Tokugawa family held government control of the country. This time period borrows its name from Edo, Tokyo's original name, which was the political capital of Japan. It's a beautiful place surrounded by flowers and fresh water. They say it's particularly spectacular in June, and all the Hanashobu, male plants of the Iris family, they were cultivated as a unique breed leading up to the Edo period. Flowers open all at once, so I definitely want to visit when the time is right. Walking through that Ishiri forest, listening to the sounds of nature, you'll sometimes witness a Shinto wedding. The bride looks wonderfully exotic in beautiful makeup on a traditional robe. It's a mysterious and elegant place where you can really feel the flow of time slow down around you. Harajuku Shita Street. Harajuku is close to Shibuya, one station away, right next to the Meiji Shrine, and it's a fashion-centered town similar to Shibuya. Yoshida-dori is the busiest street in Harajuku, and you'll find it crowded with young people on their days off. In the late 1960s, Shinjuku was considered a young person's town with accessories and clothing shops popping up all along the streets of Harajuku. It quickly became Japan's fashion apparel metropolis. It specifically excels at developing street fashion. For instance, the famous Gothic Lolita trend was developed in Japan. It was inspired by 18th century women. Aside from Gothic Lolita, there are many people who pioneer new fashion trends that dazzle the eye. Japanese fashion is known worldwide as Japanese street fashion. Next to the Yoshida-dori is the Yobata-san door. The road to the Meiji Shrine, it feels more settled than Harajuku. It's large and contains many high-class boutiques and brand shops. It's still a fashion town, but it feels more adult-oriented than most of Harajuku, and the atmosphere is very different. In addition, Japan's most famous soccer stadium, the National Olympic Stadium, Kokuritsu, Yasube, Oka, Rikijo, wherever many of Japan's most important soccer games are played here, is nearby and is often crowded during sporting events. Naturally, it's an enchanting street where jazz musicians line the streets amidst these oak-over trees, bridal shops, and couples enjoying peaceful conversations at local cafes. Mount Takao, originally a holy mountain where individuals would seek pilgrimage. This unique trend of mountain worshippers inspired many to use Mount Takao as a training ground. It opened the public when the Yokoin Shrine was built about 300 years ago, and many historical monuments can be seen along the mountain path. It takes about an hour by train from central Tokyo to reach Mount Takao. It's seen as a popular leisure spot and enjoyed by both young and older generations. It was selected as a 3-star tourist spot, particularly in the Michelin Guide since 2007, and it is actually the mountain with the most annual visitors throughout the world. Really? There's also a cable car that allows tourists to enjoy going up the mountain without actually hiking. The buzzword Mountain Girl was coined during the recent hiking boom in Japan. Similarly to the crowded life, Mount Takao is just as busy. The most famous mountain in Japan is Mount Fuji, but Mount Takao and Mount Fuji have an interesting relationship. When the people back then were trying to build the Edo Castle, Imperial Palace, they tried to gather the power of water from Tokyo Bay and the power of fire from Mount Fuji by Feng Shu. I forget the pronunciation. This land generally is known as ryoan-ji and supposedly runs from Mount Fuji to Mount Takao. From this, it is said that the same divine benefits granted by Mount Fuji can be obtained by climbing Mount Takao. Of course, Mount Fuji can be seen on a clear day, and the famous Diamond Fuji can be seen before and after the winter solstice. I think there's another page, but let's go through CG first. Well, there's not really much of it, really, is it? That's why I get the CG out of the way first. Wait, so there'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 25 CGs total. That ass. That ass again. That mask. That candy floss. That smile. That smile again. That candy apple. So it has like different angles for that one. My eyes! The fish have eaten my eyes! Wait a second, that reminds me of Mushishi, that does. Man, that's what happened to the Mushi! If you've seen Mushishi, you might kind of get what I'm talking about. Otherwise, you're just like, what the hell are you talking about? Horror movies! Ah! Well, what? Well, I wasn't scared, asshole. Is that a real legit sword? If it is, no wonder why he was like, whoa, what are you doing? You can't do that! Duh. You still have no eyes. I thought you'd get eyes like in Europe, but oh well, it doesn't matter. It's like, I'll be teary-eyed for the both of us since you can't because you got no eyes. And that's the CG. Anyway, back to sightseeing. Kyoto! Oh my god, there's gonna be a lot to look at in Kyoto then. Click on it. Blurred! Kyoto, access from Tokyo Station. Kyoto was the capital of Japan for over 1,000 years, from 794 through 1867. It was largely spared during the fire bombings of World War II, so many of its priceless historical landmarks remain to this day. A metropolis of 1.4 million people, the city streets are modern, but have a completely different atmosphere compared to a city like Tokyo. To maintain that atmosphere, extremely tall buildings and large-scale shops are forbidden in the city, and the historical city streets blend well with nature. Unlike the dazzling, ever-changing Tokyo, the people and the buildings have a settled feeling in many ways. They are refined and lacking in the sort of boorishness usually associated with the country. Yon is a Kyoto pleasure district that's been around since ancient times, and the houses and streets still maintain their antiquated appearance. Wooden houses line the stone streets, making for an elegant and dignified. Again, if there's words I'm unfamiliar with, especially with pronunciation, then I'm gonna have trouble pronouncing it. Simple as that. The town was originally developed along the road leading to the Yasuda Shrine, and prospered as a place catering to merchants and artists. Most famous for its girl called Mako. Mako are said to be around 15-20 years old. Mako is the name given to apprentices when they are fully trained. They are called Geko, who perform songs and dances at restaurants and inns to entertain the customers. If you walk around the town, you might see these white-faced kimono-wearing Mako stroll around. You can even have your picture taken with them. They received strict training on how to walk, how to stand, and even how to greet people, so they were attractive in their audience. I'd imagine the quality of the girl's appearance carries over from the aesthetic of ancient Japan. Kinkaku-ji! Kinkaku-ji is one of the most famous sightseeing spots in Kyoto, which was erected by a noble in the year 1224, but when his grandson was executed for an attempt to kill the emperor, it was abandoned for some time, until the 14th century when Japan's ruler Ashikaga Yoshimitsu, 1358 to 1408, the most powerful man in Japan in the 14th century. He ushered in the golden age of Muromachi period, 1326 to 1573. Took over its reconstruction in the year 1319 Chirpa 7 and made it his center of politics Chirp Chirp Bird. The nickname kinkaku-ji derives from its famous golden walls, and that gold was a fixture during this time period. Temple's gaudy appearance is very eye-catching, but the landscape that surrounds the kinkaku-ji is even more amazing. During the days when Ashikaga Yoshimitsu centered his politics here, it was called the Hanano Gojo, Flowered Palace, because flowers bloomed there all year round. Some space away from the dignity of the gardens, the building stands alone, glittering in its reflection on the water. I think that the poetry of the kinkaku-ji is not just in the building itself, but how it stands amidst the spectacle surrounding it. A Zazen-kai is held at the kinkaku-ji on the 2nd and 4th Sunday of every month. I got to experience it during my trip. Zazen is the spiritual practice of the Zen religion, and it still goes on at temples in Japan. You sit with crossed legs, like I always do when recording, and I gotta say, it freaking hurts sometimes. I don't know, man, it just sucks. There's I commented on this many times, I've got a desk, but I can't actually use it. My excuse now is simply because the bird cage is currently on the chair. But anyways, you sit with crossed legs in a Japanese-style room, close your eyes and meditate. A monk walks around the room with a flat wooden stick. If you enter into worldly thoughts during your meditation, the monk will realize it, move around behind the person and wrap the shoulder with a stick. Makes a loud sound when it strikes, but it doesn't hurt very much at all. You feel very at peace during Zazen, listening to the sounds in the trees around you. You start to feel as one with nature, and when you open your eyes at the end, there's a refreshing feeling that's like being reborn. It's a very strange sensation. So, it says, if you enter into worldly thoughts, the monk will realize it. How would he know exactly? Ryoan-ji Rock Garden. The Ryoan-ji was a temple erected in 1450 and strong reflects the Zen ideal. Zen is a sect of Buddhism which encourages its practitioners to draw closer to the Buddha's spirit through rigorous spiritual development. The garden gained worldwide fame when Queen Elizabeth praised it during her visit to Japan in 1975. This made it very popular with foreigners and triggered an international Zen boom. The Ryoan-ji Rock Garden consists of wild sands. What? Spread over an area 22 meters wide and about 10 meters deep and set with 15 stones. Sand and stone are made to resemble islands floating in the ocean. The abstractness of the rock garden contrasts with the natural foliage surrounding it, creating a bizarre atmosphere. There are 15 stones in the Ryoan-ji Rock Garden, but aside from one spot, there is no place from which you can see all 15. Zen encourages the abstraction of reality, so many believe that the placement of these stones has a hidden meaning. They say 15 is considered the perfect number in Eastern culture, so it may represent the idea that perfection is unattainable by humans. Alternatively, there is a theory that they intentionally created the imperfect system, because the perfection of things always signals the beginning of their decline. Ryoan-ji also had a pond called the Koyoji, which is surrounded by sakura, yuki, and nagi, and shade trees that make for a peaceful and serene view. It's particularly beautiful in spring when the cherry blossoms bloom and in fall when the trees take on their autumn colors. Man, there's a lot to see in Kyoto, isn't there? Kiyomizu-dera. The kiyomizu-dera is a historical temple built in the year 1778 and is famous as a World Heritage Site. The most striking thing about it is how the main hall juts out from the mountains, offering a superlative view of the houses of Kyoto from above. On the slip of the mountain, huge wooden pillars up to 12 meters in diameter stand supporting what could be called a stage in front of the main hall. Visitors can stand on that stage and look far down below the building's amazing presence combines with its structural beauty to create an even greater impact. You know, I keep saying meters, but I'm actually not sure there. I know. For some reason, I just have trouble with that, you know, when it's like... I get them mixed up. I don't know why. But anyways, should I read that one? Yeah. The phrase "jump from the stage" kiyomizu is used as a metaphor for courage, and jumping from it really does seem like it would take courage. According to historians' statistics, there are 234 cases of people jumping off the stage between 1694 and 1864, and the survival rate was 85.4%. Even so, I don't really feel like making the jump myself. There's a place called Yatawa Waterfall near the kiyomizu-dera, which is the origin of the temple's name. In English, kiyomizu-dera means the temple of pure water, which refers to this Ottawa waterfall. It's actually 3 small waterfalls, and there's an old legend that those who drink from it will gain various good fortunes. Fortune in academics, fortune in love, and long life. But I got a little carried away and drank from all 3 of them, which they say is an act of greed that cancels out any good effects. Meh. The temples, shrines, and castles of Kyoto are enhanced throughout different times of the year. The temples of Kyoto are lit up with a variety of color-changing lights that symbolize different seasons and months. In spring, the lights are pink to match the color of cherry blossoms, and in autumn, they mimic the color of autumn leaves. The light always brings out the most beautiful parts of nature for the season, making for it truly otherworldly sight. Kyoto Studio Park. Kyoto Studio Park began when a certain venerable movie company opened its sets to the public as a way to ease their economic troubles. The company was very prolific in the creation of jidaigekis. So many of the sets it released were jidaigeki sets. This theme park recreates an Edo period from 1603 to 1864, when the family held government control of the country. This time period was the name from Edo, Tokyo's original name, which was the political capital of Japan. What? Of the Japan? Japanese and fun comes from feeling like you have traveled back to those days. You can even pay to put on costumes of era-appropriate characters like samurai and princesses. They still film jidaigeki in the theme park, and if you time your trip just right, you can actually watch the filming in progress. The jidaigeki sword fight, also known as tate, or whatever dates, I don't know, usually involves a rush by multiple opponents against a single man who dodges through them smoothly while slicing them all down. It's the coolest thing I'd ever seen. Wait, where's the other location? Yokohama. You didn't add that into your sightseeing album. Tsurugoka Hachimangu. Japan's folk religion Shinto includes a concept known as ujigami. This refers to the veneration and enshrinement of a family's personal protector, god, or ancestor. Ujigami. The Tsurugoka Hachimangu is a shrine to honor the ujigami of the Genji family known as the Minamoto warrior clan. They won a power struggle with the warrior organization the Heishi and seized control of Japan, who took power in Japan 800 years ago. The Heishi made Kamakura their home base and proceeded to create a city around the Tsurugoka Hachimangu. It could be called the symbol of Kamakura itself. The shrine at the time was built to communicate to the power of the Geiji to those around it, and compared to similar structures in Kyoto, it would appear quite loud and full of impact. I guess it goes to show the difference between noble culture and warrior culture. When you climb the long stone staircase flanked by gorgeous kinkaku trees, you can look out over the town of Kamakura. The view is amazing. There are 2 festivals that occur annually, and you can watch the art form called the Yabasami, the Heisha Taisai in early September, and the Reitasai on September 16th. Yabasami is a horseback archery competition. Since warriors control the government in Kamakura, the Yabasami thrived there 800 years ago among the ruling warrior class. As the era progressed, cavalry in general became outdated, but the Yabasami remains a ritual of the shrine to this day. The warriors race on horseback, ow, my ears, at high speed and have to hit, say, 55 centimeters square plank of wood with bow and arrow. It must take incredible training to do it well. Great Buddha of Kamakura. Kamakura is Daibutsu, the nickname given to giant Buddha statues. There are many of them found throughout Asia's Buddhist countries. There's a giant Buddha statue enshrined at the Kotoku in Kamakura. Made out of bronze, it was completed in 1246. Including the pedestal, it is 13.75 meters high and weighs 121 tons. The base alone is 2.85 meters high, which, with each eye being a meter long and ears 2 meters long, the powerful men of the time believed that building marvelous Buddha statues would assure them peace and health. So they competed to build the largest statues possible. Nowadays they do that with buildings, isn't it? We'll make the biggest, tallest building ever, and it'll just be like totally pointless, but hey, we'll at least achieve like having the tallest building in the world kind of thing. I don't know. At the entrance to the Kotoku Inn is a great statue of a man with an angry expression. It's called Nyozo, and his face is truly terrifying. You know, speaking of that, what about the, I forgot what they're called now, but those things, were they called Tengu or something like that? You didn't mention that on the Mount of Cow Sightseeing album, and we what's up that? And the monkeys. And it leaves such an impression that the Daibutsu's face seems even more peaceful and serene by comparison. I think that blessed appearance mirrors the ideals of Buddhism. The statue itself is hollow and you can go inside. The interior is just like a cave, the bird chirps a lot and it echoes. But if you look closely you can see the traces of the wooden frame that was used when it was first cast. Makes for an interesting look into the creation of a Daibutsu. We stopped by a very interesting store on our way to the great Buddha of Kamakura. It's right beside the entrance to the Kotoku Inn, where the Daibutsu sits. It looks just like a regular souvenir shop at first glance. But they sell weapons and armor there. Obviously they're all replicas, but they have thousands of weapons, everything from genuine historical weapons to legendary weapons like Excalibur, King Arthur's legendary sword. So weapons that appear in manga, anime, and games. Just looking at them was a lot of fun. Having unexpected experiences in unexpected places makes it for a very refreshing experience. In Oshima. Did we actually visit these locations or not? Because I can't quite remember. Or maybe, I don't know. Was some of this off-screen? I don't know. Enoshima has long been a beloved sightseeing spot for the Japanese. The western side of the island is full of caves eaten away by the erosion of the waves, making for a very dramatic view. The eastern side is a marine sports haven with lots of tourist structures like a yacht harbor and aquarium. The large beach gets very crowded in summer. The center of the island features a garden created by an English trader during the Meiji period. The years 1862 to 1912 in Japan. It was during that time when the nation was undergoing modernization, and contains many trees and flowers, a beautiful ocean, the powerful rocks, the serenity of nature. Hiroshima is a very picturesque place no matter where you go, particularly in the evening, when the silhouette of Mount Fuji, the tallest point in Japan, 776 meters tall at summit, shut up bird, becomes faintly visible over the horizon. It's very easy to get sucked into the sight and lost in time. Near the summit of the mountain is a shrine honoring the goddess of music and dance. Benzaiten, the protector deity of music, art and treasure. Known as the Enoshima Shrine, many people have made pilgrimages there since the Edo period. The pilgrimages were probably just a pretext for the people of Edo who just want to enjoy the scenery. People of the day, taking in the sights of Enoshima, became the subject of many a popular form of visual art during the Edo period. These woodblock prints could be mass-produced. They are said to have had a large influence on the Impressionist period of art. If you come to Enoshima at the beginning of August, you should check out the giant fireworks festival. Watching the fireworks expand over the beautiful ocean is an exciting sight, and one you won't soon forget. By the way, I'm not sure why, but you see a lot of cats around this island. They don't hang around the shrine where there's a lot of foot traffic, not food. But if you pass through the alleys, you'll see a lot of cats lazing around. The cats of Enoshima are very used to people, and most won't run away if you get close. Koto and I spend a lot of time playing with the cats. Yeah, this stuff was off-screen, wasn't it? It's like, let's explore Kyoto, or whatever, and only, like, briefly you'll get to see, like, brief bits of it. I don't know, because I don't remember this. You also need to experience the train I took on the way to Enoshima. The Enoshima Nantetsu is a small, slow-moving train that makes the 10-kilometer trip from Kamakura to Fujisawa stations in about an hour. It's affectionately nicknamed the Edo-den, a historic railroad remodeled in 1902. The design of the train itself contains a retro atmosphere. The train's main charm is the view from its windows. It runs through the town and between houses like a streetcar, which then opens up into a beautiful view of the ocean. The mountains, ocean and towns, the view along the route has a lot of variety. The relaxing atmosphere makes for a good combination with the view of Hirošima's ocean, so there are many fans of the train, and it sometimes appears in dramas and anime. The train has a mysterious sort of draw that makes you want to ride it all day. For those people, there's a 580 yen all-day pass that lets you take as many stops as you want. It's very useful. Man, that was a lot of reading. I was just like, with quite a number of LPers, they don't tend to read stuff that's like essentially a wall of text, but I'm just like, screw it, I'll read through the whole thing.